Hi guys, I'm the Viking and welcome back to Movies That Matter. The Green Lantern show has been officially announced. It's getting written, it's getting ready to shoot. It's in the process. We heard from I think it was about a year ago, we heard about this show coming to HBO Max, Green Lantern Corps. It just says Green Lantern series here. It doesn't give Green Lantern Corps as an official title. So I don't know exactly what the official title will be. But it's getting a HBO Max release and this is good. I want to see Green Lantern being done in a different form. Got to see it in 2011 with Ryan Reynolds, of course. Didn't turn out that well. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, some sort of Green Lantern is supposed to appear. Is it Hal Jordan? Is it John Stewart? Who exactly is it? I'm not that sure, but we'll find out in 2021. And they're supposed to do additional photography, so you might add someone else into it. But it's coming to HBO Max, and HBO Max is trying to build their brand. You know, they have already announced that a Peacemaker show, a spin off from the Suicide Squad, is happening with John Cena. There is also a Gotham Police Department show that's going to be a spin-off and a prequel to the Batman. So they're already greenlighting and getting these shows out here based on films that are going to come out in a theatrical basis. And who knows, there might be some spin-offs of Zack Snyder's Justice League, but look, I think it's promising for us as fans to hear all this news, more DC content, more superhero content for us to have fun with and enjoy, and hopefully it's done in the right way. Now, what Green Lanterns are they using for this HBO Max show? Well, some surprise picks have been made, and one of them is Guy Gardner. Now, Guy Gardner is going to be brought into the equation. He is one of many Green Lanterns that's going to be in this Green Lantern show. Now, look, for someone like me who is not a big comic book reader, I don't know exactly who every single Green Lantern is. I use these TV shows, I use the movies, animated things to get educated on characters. Get educated on characters I don't know. Of course, I know the Batmans and the Supermans and the Wonder Womans and stuff like that. But when it comes to these kind of characters, unknown characters, I use these as my education. Also, there's going to be a female Green Lantern brought into the equation, and that is Jessica Cruz. I think it's a Latino kind of character, so that's going to be interesting. This cast already seems to be very diverse, which is great to see. Which is it might cater to all around the globe, different people, different backgrounds checking out the show because of the from where these characters are from or what they look like, which is great. So yeah, as I said, I use these platforms to educate myself. I've been watching Black Lightning lately. I've been watching Iron Fist because I don't know these characters. I don't watch or don't read comic books, so I need some way of understanding these characters. Another character that's going to be brought into it is Simon Baz. Now, by googling the character, I see that he's a black man, so that's good. Going to be a black character brought into it. So you already have Guy Gardner, a white male. You have Jessica Cruz, a Latino. You got Simon Baz, who is a black man, and then Alan Scott's going to be brought into the equation, the first Earth's first Green Lantern, and also in the comics I read, he is a gay man. So I'm sure they'll keep that going. Cast a gay actor. So already you can see by by the characters that they have chosen, it's going to be very diverse, and that's great to see. And I'm looking forward to a Green Lantern show, another show for me to get into. And it's going to be a high budget show. HBO Max are giving these shows a pretty big budget because they want to make an impact on the streaming service. They want to get up there with the likes of Netflix, with Disney Plus, with Hulu, with Amazon, and make an impact. Now, who else is going to be in the show? Sinestro. Now, we got to see Sinestro back in 2011 in the Green Lantern film, played by Mark Strong. He did a brilliant job. If I was to bring back one character other than Ryan Reynolds, I would bring back him. He is absolutely brilliant in that role. But it's interesting that they're using these kind of side Green Lanterns, but they're going with some big Green Lantern villains. Now, I don't know if Sinestro is going to start off as a villain in this TV show or he is going to be a hero and then transformed into a villain. They're also going to use Kilowog. Now, Kilowog, of course, in the 2011 film as well. There he is. That's the kind of incarnation they use of the character, and he had some very funny moments with Green Lantern, which was played by Ryan Reynolds at the time. Kind of some funny scenes and stuff like that. So, what kind of character is he going to be? Is he going to be a villain? Is he going to be a hero? Is he going to be teaching the other Green Lanterns how to be a Green Lantern? What kind of basis are they going to have this show on? But the Green Lantern Corps show is going to come sometime probably 2022, 2023, depending on when they get to shoot and cast. I haven't even cast anyone yet. But there's been big Green Lanterns missing from this announcement. John Stewart is one of them. Now, Jon Stewart, many fans think he is the ultimate, he is the Green Lantern because the animated show, that's what they grew up watching, they watched him. So is he going to be kept for movies? Is he going to be kept, or is he going to show up in Zack Snyder's Justice League? That would be pretty interesting. Zack Snyder has to do additional photography. Will he pick Jon Stewart to be his Green Lantern? Will he pick Hal Jordan? But it makes me wonder, why haven't they placed these characters in the show? They must have different ideas for it. Are they keeping these characters for a live action Green Lantern film, or are they keeping them for Zack Snyder's Justice League? Or actually, will they show up in this show at some point with a different actor playing them from a different actor that would play them in Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League? It'd be very interesting to see. One of them is Kyle. I'm going blank on his name right now. He's another famous Lantern, but he hasn't been picked either. So is he going to be another character that is brought into the equation in this show, or is he being kept for bigger things? It's amazing that a Green Lantern show is going ahead, but they're not using these well-known IP characters, which I actually agree with it, because for someone who knows Green Lantern on the basis, I know who Hal Jordan is, I know who Jon Stewart is, but I don't know these other characters, so that's great to see. Now, who is going to be behind this show? Well, one of the guys is Seth Grahame-Smith. Now, he has done some very diverse, some very interesting projects. He's a novelist, and I think that he could be a very important part for the show. He's going to write it, he's going to co-write, he's going to be executive producer. He did Abraham Lincoln's Zombie Vampire Hunter, was that what they called? Haven't seen that film. He did some other films as well, which are darker and grittier. He worked on It. So he is one of the guys who is going to be pretty interesting for this project. And I think he was attached to direct or write the Flash solo film a few years ago. The other guy is Mark Guggenheim, and he has been a part of the CW world for a very long time. Showrunner on DC Legends of Tomorrow, showrunner and creator on Arrow. He worked a bit on Stargirl, he worked a bit on The Flash as well. So he's a seasoned DC guy, and he also wrote the screenplay for Green Lantern 2011. So this is kind of his comeback. This is his kind of a retribution that he gets to make up for that kind of mistake. But I heard before that they didn't let him do his script back in 2011. There was a lot of rewrites on set and stuff like that. Now, one name that's absent from this list and this announcement is Geoff Johns. Geoff Johns is well known for writing comic books in the form of Green Lantern. He doesn't know the character. He has written so many famous comic books with the character, but he is missing from this. And he's one of the guys who I think was originally attached to be at least a producer in this show. And for someone who has been heavily involved with DC projects over the last decade, it's actually amazing to see that he's not involved in this show. Now, is this because of all the controversy surrounding him with Ray Fisher and Joss Whedon? I'd say that has a lot to do with it. And them kind of not having him on this project is very interesting and shows that he might be on his way out of DC entirely, and maybe the only project that he will get to work on is Stargirl. Now, Ray Fisher had something to say on Twitter about this announcement. He says, Seth Grahame-Smith is an awesome dude, true and true. We connected in a big way during his time on the Flash film. He's got a big heart, and I know he's going to slay Green Lantern. There's no better commander for the Corps, well deserved. Now, this is probably a little snipe at Geoff Johns. Geoff Johns must not be involved in this project whatsoever if Ray Fisher is coming out with this kind of statement. This is to rub Geoff Johns' nose in it. Remember, Ray Fisher told us that Geoff Johns went about in a way to make fun of Ray Fisher, that Cyborg was being used in another form at DC in terms of Doom Patrol. So maybe this is Ray Fisher's payback for that. But it's going to be a Greg Berlanti production as well. Now, that's interesting. Now, is it going to be... He does a lot of the CW stuff as well, but is it going to be a CW-ish show in terms of the comedy, in terms of the tone that they use? I don't think it will be a carbon copy of those properties. I think it will actually be more on the line of Stargirl. That was also a Berlanti production. Geoff Johns was involved in that. But I think in terms of the budget will be very high for the show. I don't think it will be an unbelievably dark show. I think it will have its moments. But I think it will also have some bit of comedy there. But it won't be an alright comedy either. It will be its own thing. It's going to be a 10 one-hour episode series. So is it just going to be one series? Is it going to lead into the Green Lantern films? It's amazing. I can't wait for this. But guys, let me know your thoughts on the Green Lantern show and all these characters. Who are you most interested in seeing? I want to hear your thoughts. See you next time, guys.